Welcome to our next episode of A Bit of Light Relief. This is the Curve Group giving a bit back to the business community, discussing HR insights and just bringing a bit of relief to that. So I'm Jeanette Ramsden, for those of you who don't know, and I'm the CEO of the Curve Group.
And I'm Kelly York, Chief Operating Officer at the Curve Group.
And I'm Katharine from Executive Wisdom.
Welcome.
Oh, do you know what? I met Katharine at a conference, and we have had, I do consider myself incredibly lucky in the job that I do. We've had so much fun today with you, Katharine, and she's really, really challenged me and given us some tremendous insights today, and we want to share a little bit of that with you today. So, Katharine, tell us a little bit about what you do and what you're seeing, what you do and what you're seeing and how you help people, I guess.
Yeah, sure. So I'm Katharine. I founded Executive Wisdom last year. We are a learning and development consultancy. Yep. So many of your viewers today will know exactly what we do. We deliver leadership training, one-to-one coaching, soft skills, all the stuff to get people, developing themselves and, reaching their potential.
Yeah.
And I love what I do. I absolutely love what I do. I've been doing it for a number of years now. So what makes us slightly different from your traditional learning and development consultancy?
And this is the bit that's really exciting.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
For those of you out there going, what, another consultancy?
This is very different.
Shall I just tell them straight?
Yeah.
So what we do is we combine all of that, all of the great stuff that the MBTI, the insights, the parent, adult, child models, the leadership models, all the great stuff. We combine it with ancient wisdom, tools and techniques, spirituality.
Which we've had some of those tools and techniques this afternoon, and they are actually great fun as well. Some really good stuff to do.
So, and the reason they're so much fun is because they actually speak to people.
Yeah.
We all have a soul. You can call it what you want, deep intuition. It doesn't matter how you define it, but we all have a notion that we have that sixth sense, right? So when you start talking to people about this, they resonate. We all resonate with it.
Yeah.
And so what do? We introduce, we keep all of the great traditional tools that exist, that I myself have been teaching for years, and I advocate and I love them. But we bring this new dimension in as well. So what is it? Meditation, mindfulness, breath work, self-inquiry, and actually ultimately balancing out the left brain and the right brain. Because we are energy beings, right? We have a mind, we have a body, we know that, but we're actually also energy beings, and we're not in any way tapping into that potential. We don't really know what that means.
Particularly in the business place.
Particularly in the business world,
And I think what's really relevant about this at the moment is there's so much burnout in the marketplace, and there's excessive workload, there's people not being involved in decision making, and actually statistically people that are coached and developed are actually 50% less likely to end up with those awful things happening to them. So I think it's
Have you got
really
some stats on that by chance? By chance.
It's true though. I see it every day. I see it every day. I mean, I don't know the stats because, but
you don't need them. You're
you
seeing
don't need them.
them.
I'm seeing it. People
absolutely.
struggling with high stress, chronic illness. People sharing with me in the coaching conversation how they're struggling with different health issues because of the stress.
And that is just a marketplace fact as well at the moment. It's more and more and actually quite worrying in business, isn't it?
It is because we as a society, we have put productivity above people, and it's catching up with us.
I agree.
We cannot we cannot sustain it. And I believe, so I talk about conscious business and conscious leadership, because obviously what is consciousness? It is what we are. We can use the word energy or consciousness interchangeably. And now we know that like quantum physics is kind of catching up with all the different spiritual texts, what they've been saying for years and years. And so what do we mean by conscious business? We mean businesses that put people before profit, that value service above extraction, ultimately. And the world is going quite wrong at the moment.
Yeah.
I've stopped watching the news because
Yes.
energetically it's not great.
And the number of people that are actually stopping watching
Yeah.
the news is hugely concerning, isn't it? It's just people don't want to see all of this
Because
anymore.
it's quantum physics talks about it. Again, something called entrainment, that energy, you get caught up with it. So the negativity of the news can just bring your vibration right down. But all of this, I think, is a symptom of the fact that we need to look to business to actually make a change in society. And I think that's where businesses have really exciting potential. That they can be the vehicles that bring about real change through the people that they employ and the services that they provide.
So when you go talking to businesses about spirituality, I have to ask the question. I did check out that she was happy with this, by the way, without being too challenging. But what's the response?
Well, it is a really good question. And so maybe I should say that I came to all of this because I myself had a spiritual awakening 3 years ago, went through a very difficult life period where now I look back and I realise that, my soul was knocking on the door going, this is not your purpose, this is not what you're supposed to be doing, and I had this kind of hunger for all these spiritual texts, and I started self kind of teaching, around looking on YouTube. I started meditating.
Did a lot of work, didn't you?
Did a load of work. And initially I was like, I have to bring this back into the workplace. I believe in it so wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
It's what the workplace needs, because of course I was already working in that space.
Yeah.
And I was afraid. I was like, I can't mention it.
Worried about what people were going to say.
People think I'm absolutely stark raving mad. And then one day I was like, no, I've got to do it no matter what. I've got to be unapologetic about it. I can't use different terminology, or just straight to the point. And actually, the response has been amazing. People believe in it. They feel it.
Yeah. So if you were going to coach me,
Yes.
how do you do it? Tell me about it.
Yeah, good question. So in many ways, it's very similar to maybe ways in which you've been coached before. We have a 1 hour session and we meet weekly or bi-monthly.
Yep.
And I would be very much led by you, getting to know you. But I would also introduce concepts. There would be a kind of teaching element to it as well. So introduce concepts around understanding who you are, understanding that you are not simply just your body and your mind.
Yeah.
And a lot of the work is psychology, actually. So a lot of it is delving into the shadow and into the subconscious programming that run the show ultimately. So helping you gain an awareness. So gaining in consciousness is gaining in awareness.
And do you find a lot of people go away and do their own homework as well? So once you introduce these concepts, they really get behind what you're talking to them about?
Yes. So once you start introducing practical things like meditation and breath work, if the person's committed, they will go away and do that, even if it's just a few minutes a day. But beyond that, their awareness has expanded. So suddenly in a meeting, perhaps they were being triggered by a particular person, and we looked at what was underlying that.
Yeah, of course.
That the next time they're triggered, they're like, I realised that actually I didn't need to respond in this way anymore. So it's very subtle, but it's very powerful, and the impact is huge.
And you were talking to me about some of the CEOs that you're speaking to about all this and how they're bringing in their feminine traits, so male CEOs, I should say, that are bringing in their feminine traits. Because you've also got an interesting stat around this, around CEOs, haven't you? About 36%?
No, it's basically saying, no, not CEOs specifically, but like it was 70% of leaders are burnt out. And there's 39% roughly of CEOs that were looking to change role because they just can't continue the way they're continuing. So it's worrying that there's so much traction at the top in terms of unhappiness and burnout, essentially.
And I'm seeing that. And I think for a start, at that level, they can see that everything is not right. They've got a lot of employees who are themselves stressed, and they haven't got a magic wand that they can suddenly give them more resources or more time necessarily. So they're really hungry for answers and for different ways of doing things. So they're very open. And what you mentioned about the feminine and the masculine, it's actually, we are, if you think of energy as being a mixture of feminine and masculine energy. So all of us, no matter how we identify, have both. And your masculine energy will be the productivity, the drive, the achievement, the forward motion. And your feminine energy will be, you're more incubating, you're more creative, you're more still, because we go so fast in society. You know, you're stiller energy and you're more intuitive energy. So what I'm trying, because the whole of society is very masculine energy focused, we need to bring in the feminine. So I am teaching these CEOs to stop, sit with themselves, be still, allow their intuition to rise naturally, which they knew it anyway. I'm not teaching anybody anything that they don't already know. I'm giving them the confidence to trust their own discernment.
Because great leadership needs great intuition, right?
100%.
And that's one of the key things.
Yes,
so, absolutely.
It's not something that's
Discernment.
discussed,
The key word I really like is discernment. Because how do you come to discernment? It's different from decision making. Discernment is like there's an inner knowing, there's a confidence in what you're saying and acting and what you're doing.
Trust your gut.
Trust your gut. Yeah,
And I'm going nowhere, by the way. I'm not one of those CEOs that I need to leave, just so that you know. I mean, I find it absolutely fascinating.
It is, yeah.
It really is a very, very interesting field, and something that, if you're not careful, you could too easily dismiss, and yet, you know, coming into sort of the fourth industrial revolution, you know, I guess so we have to be open to this, because we're going to go through a lot of rapid change. I don't think we can deny this fact that 77% of our leaders are feeling stressed, and we have to sort of address this, and you certainly have opened up my eyes, and find it fascinating, the sort of the work that you're doing out there. So thank goodness for you.
I think worrying it's going to get worse as well before it gets better.
Well,
I do. So we have to keep trying new tactics and new solutions. And my opinion today has been, you know, it's been really impressive spending time with you. So
all we want is workforce optimization.
Exactly.
Don't we?
We all
and
want the
how
same
do you
thing.
do that?
Exactly.
Through our people. So
100%.
Thank you so much. And just giving us a snapshot.
Yeah.
I cannot begin to tell you, please do speak to Katharine if you're experiencing or wanting to know more, because we've spent such a fascinating day with her today. Thank you for listening. If there are any topics that you'd like us to discuss around HR and give you some insights or our opinions on, we'd love to hear from you. And thank you for listening.
thank you.
Thank you.